And the Greens tried every day to extract information on the mass salmon deaths in southern Tasmania. And any information we did get from Liberal ministers was as murky as the Huon and Channel waters are at the moment. Coastal communities have been suffering for a month with stinky fat balls and oil littering our beaches. All the government did was hand-wring and tell Tasmanians that the salmon industry was on notice. So we asked, what does being on notice look like? And we got no answer. And we asked about stocking density, but no minister knew who was responsible for that. We asked about claims of illegal dumping on dead salmon, and you guessed it, the minister didn't have the information. We moved for a parliamentary inquiry to have full clarity on this massive environmentally damaging event, but that was roundly rejected by the Liberal and Labor parties. And after relentless questions and nagging of ministerial officers, Mr Garland and the Greens today got a briefing from the EPA, the Chief Veterinary Officer, Public Health and NRET, and I thank them for that. Given our job in this place is to represent our communities, we wanted to share some of what we learned today. We heard it's likely more mortality events are occurring than we've seen publicised. We know that the Chief Veterinary Officer advised the entire southeast region, including the east coast, are infected with the same bacteria that are in large part responsible for the die-off in the Huon and Channel. We heard dead fish waste material is overwhelming in silage and rendering facilities at the moment, and that the 5,500 tonnes of dead salmon so far comes nowhere near the quantity that's been removed from the waters. We heard the Chief Health Officer believes there is no negative health effects of rancid fat washing up on public beaches, despite the high possibility of ingestion by children, pets or wildlife. We heard wild fish are most definitely contaminated by antibiotics. The failure of Liberal ministers to be in control of and transparent about this marine disaster is beyond belief, as is the so-called opposition running cover for both Big Salmon and the Liberals. They're both as cosy as each other with Big Salmon and both utterly disconnected from their communities. What coastal communities in my electorate have seen for the last month has been revolting. And so, Honourable Speaker, the last fortnight compelled me to bring some of these stinking salmon fat and oil clumps into this House, and these are just some of the chunks.
And the member is aware she's not allowed to bring props into the House. The member is aware she's not allowed to do it. She's been here much long enough to know that. Please put them down.
It's very important that the Liberal and Labor members, especially of Franklin, come and have a look at these chunks of disgusting, reeking salmon, because that's what their constituents are looking at this weekend on the beach, and probably for at least another month to come. They've been in hiding. They should front their communities, and the Liberal and Labor Party should take responsibility for fixing up Big Salmon in Tasmania.